The fuel system in a vehicle is designed to deliver the right amount of fuel to the engine for optimal combustion. Here's a breakdown of its key components and how they work together. Key components. 1. Fuel tank. Its function is to store the fuel until it's needed by the engine. Typically made of metal or plastic, it includes an access point for filling and may have a venting system to prevent pressure buildup. 2. Fuel pump. This component moves fuel from the tank to the engine. There are a couple of types: an in-tank pump, which is more common, quieter, and helps keep the pump cool, and an inline pump located outside the tank, which is used in some older vehicles. The fuel filter, well, it plays a crucial role. Its function is to remove contaminants and debris from the fuel before it reaches the engine. This is super important because it protects the fuel injectors and other components from potential damage. Next up, fuel lines. Their function is to transport fuel between the tank, pump, filter and engine. These lines are designed from high-pressure resistant materials to handle the fuel's pressure and, of course, to prevent leaks. Finally, we have the fuel injectors. Their function is to atomize the fuel and inject it into the combustion chamber. The operation of these injectors is controlled by the engine's computer to deliver precise amounts of fuel based on engine demand. All right, so let's talk about the carburetor in older systems. Its primary function is to mix air and fuel before this mixture enters the engine. The operation relies on something called the Venturi effect, which essentially draws fuel into the airflow. Next up is the pressure regulator. Its function is to maintain consistent fuel pressure to the injectors or carburetor. This is really important because it ensures optimal fuel atomization, which is crucial for efficient combustion. Now let's dive into how the entire fuel system works. When the ignition is turned on, the fuel pump activates, drawing fuel from the tank. The fuel travels through the fuel lines and passes through the fuel filter, where impurities are removed. The fuel regulator ensures the fuel pressure remains at the optimal level, allowing for consistent flow to the injectors or carburetor. In modern fuel-injected engines, the engine control unit, or ECU, calculates the correct amount of fuel needed based on various parameters, like air intake and engine temperature. The ECU then signals the injectors to spray the precise amount of atomized fuel into the combustion chamber. The fuel mixes with air, and the resulting mixture is compressed by the piston. A spark from the spark plug ignites the mixture, creating a controlled explosion that powers the engine. After combustion, exhaust gases are expelled from the engine through the exhaust system. Regular maintenance is crucial for the fuel system's efficiency and longevity. This includes replacing fuel filters at recommended intervals, inspecting fuel lines for leaks or damage, cleaning or replacing fuel injectors if performance issues arise, and checking the fuel pump for proper operation and pressure. Understanding these components and their functions can help diagnose fuel system issues and maintain vehicle performance effectively.